Willow Grove is located as it was in 1992, May of 1992, when my parents purchased it as a family farm for the partnership that became Willow Grove Ranch. A mobile home right here, a very rudimentary barn right here, and some fences. That's pretty much all that was here. So as we developed Willow Grove, we started to try to place structures and working areas in accordance with what was going to work for us. Willow Grove as it was when we moved in. You can see the residence, which was a manufactured home. The original homestead house is there, and the comically rudimentary shed that was there. We had not yet built any structures at all, and at the time we were surrounded entirely on two sides by alfalfa fields. So around and back were alfalfa fields, and we began building from this point. So this would be 10 years later. As you can see, we had built stabling here and here, hay storage here, a round pen for working horses here, and then we had placed our main arena here. A reason that we chose that is for access to the house and access to the barns. The other big reason we chose this area is because all there was here was a hayfield. We had begun to plant trees here and shrubs for screening from the road, because we know that horses can become startled by traffic, farm equipment, motorcycles, four-wheelers, etc., etc. So we knew that we needed to make some screening happen there for our horses to be able to concentrate and work here. This dirt track here was for access for the ditch runners who needed to get to this culvert that goes underground and services the land behind us. So this access had a gate here that was for the ditch runners. But that's how things stood as we began to develop our equestrian business. In 2004, which is when this image was taken, the neighbors who lived directly north of us were retiring and got permission from the county to subdivide the back portion of their property. So these two residences went in behind us, with this dirt track turned into a driveway. This was done so as a flag lot, so they owned this much of this property. We were not consulted at all, and I found this very frustrating because every time somebody would come up and down this driveway, I would have to stop my lesson, let the horses watch what was going on, or if I was on a young horse, I would be worried that the horse would spook or startle. And it was also disruptive because this is my workspace. This is where I work all day. And to have these disruptions throughout the day, because you're not only talking about the residents, you're also talking about delivery trucks, delivery vans, hay wagons, cattle trucks and trailers, because they were running cattle back here. And so I found this to be very disruptive to my work, but I tried to be a good neighbor and just kind of bite my lip and keep moving forward with the pauses during my workday and, try to have a good attitude about it. Then on August 15th, we received this in the mail, and my heart fell. Now we were going to have 5 more residences behind us with 5 more residences worth of traffic. Being that these were going to be higher end ranchettes, we're probably easily dealing with 2 cars per residence, plus trucks and trailers, boat trailers, delivery trucks, And the construction traffic alone would almost ruin my ability to train horses in this space. I can't have a peaceful, safe space with horses and riders with this much traffic. You can see that the driveway is directly on the opposite side of the fence on the side of my arena. There's no kind of screening whatsoever for the noise and the vision that will bother the horses, and it does even now. These stakes that we had out were for practice, and we had to stop practice multiple times because of the traffic and how much it was bothering the horses. My living for the past 30 years has been based on starting colts, which we know can be dangerous. Starting horses to drive, which is also extremely dangerous because they wear blinders. They can only see straight forward and something can catch out of the side of their eye and they can bolt. I train children to drive and ride. Some of these are very new riders, and even the slightest start from a horse can leave them in the hospital. We jump horses and we train them to very high levels, which is difficult if they are distracted or afraid. I do extensive work with horses that come from physical, mental, or emotional trauma. They have very little ability to cope with things that are startling or frightening. In the summer of 2015, we began hosting clinics from outside clinicians. We brought in international clinicians well known for their expertise in certain areas. These clinics brought people in from 5 or 6 states. They ate at local eateries and shopped at local stores and stayed in local hotels. I began hosting clinics and weekend workshops for my own students. These also were attended by people from outside of the county and outside of the state. It is difficult to host a nice event that is pleasant and quiet enough to have a good learning environment and be able to be heard by my students when the road is clearly right by the arena behind the jump standards and the barrels. You can see that my work with troubled horses also makes it difficult for them to be distracted by traffic or noise. I simply want to continue doing my job the best I can, providing the safest and most productive environment for horses and riders to learn in. With added traffic noise, the vision and the sound interruptions make this very, very difficult and deeply impact my ability to do my job. I want to host events here and host people and horses here so that they can enjoy themselves and have beauty and peace and quiet and really be able to take away a positive experience. The added traffic right by the workspace will make these goals nearly impossible and it will be devastating to my business. Thank you for watching.